I asked AI to generate images of Earth only using biblical descriptions. Here's what I got. Shout out to Marty Robin, the follower who suggested that I do this. And lo and behold, this is what we get. And just to be sure, I asked it to try again. And here's what we have. Now remember, there are people who defend that the Bible somehow describes the Earth as a globe floating around in space. But when AI is restricted to only using biblical descriptions, that's not what we see. This one here kind of aligns with hollow earthers, concavers, globers, and flat earthers somehow. But if you guys give it a try, you'll probably get something like this. You know, if you go just off of what the Bible says about the Earth, it cannot be the solar system that we've been taught, because it's not a solar system at all. It's a geosystem. This is the biblical depictions. It talks about a sun and moon that are in their circuit above the Earth. It talks about the canopy, the firmament up above. Now, does that match modern science description of Earth? I think not. But then, by popular demand, people want to know what AI would do if I asked it to generate an image of Earth using Enochian descriptions from the Book of Enoch. And here's what we got. Now that is freaking awesome. Hey, and this will be a good one for the guys who believe in the ice wall within an ice wall within an ice wall within an ice. But coming back to this one, doesn't that look awesome? Like almost like ancient structures and the vaulted dome that is above it. In case you didn't see, this is one of the ones from the biblical Earth. And here's what's cool, is look at the whole thing. The whole thing together is a sphere. It's like we live inside of a sphere rather than on top of it, right? So when Pythagoras said the perfect shape of nature is a sphere, so the Earth must be a sphere. Well, what if it is on the outside? But then what if we live in the plane of inertia on the inside? Which that is what an oblate spheroid is. It's this, with that line straight into the center.
There is a ton of debate on the authenticity of the Book of Enoch. I definitely think that this could be inspired writing. At worst, this is an ancient text that the disciples knew to be true. This talks about the reason for the flood aftermath, how the earth works, how the sun and moon work, how things were created. This is really, really, really interesting. There are several places in the Bible where Enoch is mentioned, and Jude specifically refers to the Book of Enoch. They also found the contents of the book with the Dead Sea Scrolls. When cross-referencing this with the Bible, everything adds up. I talk a lot about the numerology patterns in the Bible as well, and guess what? The Book of Enoch also perfectly follows the same patterns of the Bible. Do I think it's essential to salvation? No. I think our current 66 books are all essential to salvation and the message of Jesus Christ. But this fills in a lot of questions that people might have, and there's no part of this that contradicts the Bible. I think a lot of people confuse the Apocrypha for Gnostic texts, and they're very, very different. I would run far and fast from any Gnostic Gospels. This is not Gnostic. And this was included in many early Bibles and still is in some Bibles today. But with how long the Bible is, I can see why God would allow it to be removed, because this book alone is pretty big and the Bible already takes a while to get through. Blown away by the lengths that people will go to hold on to their globe delusions. Today I posted an experiment I did that I found on NASA's JPL website. You basically make a cloud in a jar by recreating the icy firmament, and it literally says this is the exact process that happens in nature. So now the new excuse is that that can still be a thing on the globe. Everywhere that I've posted that video, there's many comments of people saying that it's more likely that we still live on a globe, but our globe is within an ice globe and we're still like spinning in space. And we can go to space even though there's an ice globe over us. I genuinely can't. It is okay to have been fooled or tricked. We've all been fooled at some point in our lives.
Sorry if I'm not one of those people that go, what does it matter, or why would they lie? When did the North Pole go from being this or this to this. Yeah, so when did it go from being 4 rivers and 4 big giant islands and a big magnetic rock at the middle to this? I mean, come on, guys.
Want proof that there's a firmament above our heads? Well, stick around because I got it. First, you can make a perfectly straight rainbow when it's reflecting off of a straight piece of glass. Has to make you wonder, why are the rainbows that we see outside in the sky shaped like that? You know that the Bible depicts a flat earth with a dome or firmament over the earth. When we take a look at the Bible to see what the firmament's made out of, it tells us in the book of Job chapter 37, verse 18, Hast thou with them spread out the sky which is strong and as a molten looking glass? The Bible confirms this furthermore in Revelation chapter 15, verse 2, I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on a sea of glass, having harps of God. Back to the rainbow now. It's common to see a double rainbow, where there's an inverted rainbow on top of the other rainbow. Now, the double rainbow could only be possible if something is reflecting it, which could only be one thing, God's glass firmament or dome. The rainbows that you see outside not only confirm the shape, also tells us that there's a glass firmament or dome above us. Because how else would this double rainbow be reflecting backwards like that? Something else that is very interesting is that the more you go north, the higher the rainbows are, like this one in Canada. And the further south you go, like this one in Australia, the lower it gets. And then the one in Antarctica, look at that. It's almost touching the ground. It makes sense that if the firmament is lower or near Antarctica, it would explain why the rainbows get smaller. What do you guys think about this? Does it prove that there's a firmament, a dome above our heads?
What's going on with these folks? I'm talking about these globe defenders. I've never seen so many triggered people in my life. I usually get 100, 200 views on most of all of my videos. Every now and then, I'll get one that'll go up into the thousands. And this last one I posted up has gotten over 20,000 views, well over 1,000 comments. TikTok has removed so many. It's like y'all alerted TikTok's algorithm to insults 18 times. I saw 18 times a label that comments are going against their community standards 18 times, letting me know that the comments are not going my way. So TikTok had to protect me from your mouth because of my opinion. It's crazy, right? Y'all are total strangers, and the way y'all attack me, it's unreal. You're so triggered. If I lived next door to you, my car tires would have been sliced. My life probably would have been in danger if I walked out at night. You people need to find a life. You need to get off it at the internet. You can't prove your ball. You can't. There's no way you can prove it. This is why all you use is observations. You people are pathetic. Period. If I was telling everybody that Peter Pan was real, none of you guys would be attacking me because it's not truthful. But you people hate God so much, and anything that points to him, you attack viciously. You people are fucked up. Really. Every one of you, Globey McGloveface, Helping Flat Earthers, McToontown, all of you people are warped individuals. You're broken. Get a life. Get some demonstrable evidence. Get something besides perspective, and you'll be a lot happier. And stop calling observations demonstrations and experiments. You're a bunch of clowns. Everybody sees this. Period. So, anyway, y'all have a good day. God bless. Stop getting triggered. Put your faith in Jesus, and you'll be a lot happier.
There's a couple of things to realise about the flat earth design in physics. You know, we're told there's a star rotation in the north. You look to the north, there's a star rotation. You look to the south, there's another one moving in the opposite direction. They think, oh, that's enough to prove that you live on a spinning ball. They think you're really dumb. You know, if you go and stand at 30 or 40 degrees north or south and look towards the celestial tropical gap, you will see two rotations, the dual rotations with a slight tropical gap, celestial tropical gap between the two star rotations. How can you replicate that on Earth anywhere? Standing on one spinning ball and you're looking at two star rotations. It doesn't work. It's a load of garbage. Now it's an easy one. Here's a real tricky one. In the northern hemisphere, all the stars are circumpolar and they don't wander off east or west. They circle Polaris. It's the axis point. So if you fixed your camera and just sat it there doing star trails, you see the stars doing circles. Well, the problem is you only see half a cycle, so you don't really see that. So it's not that easy, but you've got to face the fact that's what happens in the northern hemisphere. But in the southern hemisphere, it's different. You can fix your camera there, centered on the southern axis point, call it sigma canvas if you want, and you'll get a rotation, but the stars aren't actually doing a full rotation because they're mirrored from the, once again you're only seeing half a cycle though, they're mirrored from the centre north, but they're inverted, so they're inside out. So to a layman they just think, yeah right, whatever, it's just a ball, you're getting something similar to the north. But no, once you pull out your star tracker, I don't know if all these astrophotographers are thick or what, they just follow like sheep, no one's ever come up with it, which, you know, it should be on the front page. You pull out your star tracker and track those stars, they're all drifting out of your horizon, all moving west. Nothing is stationary there like they are in the north, where they're turning but they're not wandering off. In the southern hemisphere it looks like they're turning because you've got this circular motion, but that's only reflecting the motion right back at the centre here. The sky is always turning right back above the centre Arctic. So that the hidden vortex is in there actually, and all the stars are in there and they turn. So they're sending an image out. So everybody's on a meridian line where they're just getting their bit of what's in their hemisphere to the south and a glimpse of what's in the north if you're in the southern hemisphere. But no, if you set your camera up and start trail, you fix your camera, you're just fixed on that slice of the pie from the centre out and seeing this rotation. But the stars aren't actually, they're sort of doing a bit of a curve because they are mirrored from the north. But if you put them on a star tracker to track them, you see them following, they're flowing to the west. They move because they move all the way around the flat earth, all the perimeter, right around the perimeter of the southern hemisphere to circle the centre Arctic or centre hemisphere rotation. So one central rotation of the stars in the northern hemisphere, the southern stars are mirrored and they have to track all the way around the perimeter to come back to the same place as they were the night before. Only 4 minutes delayed if you follow the time, but if you stick to the same time, 24 hours, you're going to get 4 minutes more of stars to fill in that gap because the sun has actually raced ahead. During the day the sun races ahead by 4 minutes, so 4 minutes worth of stars or night time has to fill that void the next night. That's why they tell you the stars are quicker than the sun. It's absolutely stupid. People don't think. People have never really looked deep enough.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.